Welcome back to Task 2 of the British Championships. This task was an absolutely stunning 80-odd kilometre flight from Grand Bornand, taking us down to quite a big turnpoint on south of the Aravis, so crossing Aravis, which is a stunning location, coming all the way back behind takeoff to a huge turnpoint, or huge turnpoint radius, down to turnpoint 3, all the way down to Talloires and views of Lake Annecy, absolutely stunning. Back to take off and into goal. Annoyingly, I had a really bad start on this task, so despite having a really nice 50 minutes of cruising up the side of clouds and being really high within the last couple of minutes, or 10 minutes of the start gate, I managed to get low and it put me behind for the entire flight, which was very frustrating. I did manage to make up a few places, but I didn't manage to get back all the way to the lead gaggle, and in fact Uli actually scored all of us on this flight and he was into goal something like 40 minutes before most other people, and yeah, let's have a look, see how we got on. So as you can see, that amazing start, unfortunately I ruined it and ended up at the bottom of the gaggle, which is not the best place to be in. However, I did push quite quick to get to the hill in front of takeoff, because you could see there's cumulus and there was nice climbs there. And from here we managed to make it up pretty much up to cloud base before the transition to the Aravis. as you can see, I'm still not in an ideal position at Col d'Aravis with the lead gaggle, but they are much higher than me. However, I decided to push on and make the crossing and stay with them, but lower. And I think in hindsight I should have taken the climb all the way to cloud base here, then done the transition. That would have helped quite a lot. From this point forwards, we worked our way down the Aravis, quite low at some points, skimming around cable lifts, and as you can see at the bottom still, but with the lead gaggle, Ulrich is right at the top on the blue and white wing, and he didn't have to turn once. He went straight down to hit the first turn point on the south side of the Aravis, whereas I had to keep going down this side and work away to the spine, which faced kind of into wind, in order to try and find the next climb. And I was hoping to carry on pushing along here at about 3/4 speed and hit a nice climb at the end. However, when I got to the end, I was greeted with some lift, but not the best lift. It's really frustrating when you can see the lead gaggle start to leave towards that turn point, because all you're wanting is a nice 5-6 metre climb to be able to get to base and catch up with them. It didn't work out that way. Ended up thermaling for a couple of minutes in something fairly weak, or weak relative to the day, but then Mike Moore on his Zeolite GT found a nice climb out in front, and I joined him in that one. once we hit the first turn point, we started to head back towards takeoff to turn point 2. Another little crux was the Col d'Aravis crossing. I know quite a few of the Lee Gaggle did that crossing quite low, and it then meant they were low on the other side, and it actually enabled me to catch up and make a few points back. So on screen now I've just highlighted the top 10 pilots as well as myself, just to give you an idea of how far or close ahead they were. Bear in mind they were quite a bit higher than me. So just as I was reaching the other side of the Col d'Aravis, I actually got sunk out quite badly here. I managed to find another nice climb here though, which got me back towards cloud base and on my way towards takeoff. It's interesting to see that some people decided to go along the Aravis route. You can see a gaggle breaking away now, and some took the direct route back to take off towards turn point 2. I also took the direct route back to take off, and it worked pretty well once back at cloud base. So after getting quite low on the other side of Col d'Aravis, managed to climb back up to about 2,200 metres in the end before making the crossing to the hill in front of takeoff. By this point I was effectively one thermal behind, maybe just beyond one thermal behind looking at the screen now, and I was in good company though for this section of the race. And it's quite interesting to see how the group on the Aravis got on compared to the lead gaggle, which went back via takeoff, which is the same route I took. There were some nice clouds forming en route, and we previously had climbs on that hill in front of takeoff, so I thought it's worth giving it a go. Unfortunately, from here to just after turn point 2, I didn't get any video. I accidentally had the camera on for a long time in the first part of the flight, which used up pretty much all the battery. But yeah, now you can see I'm crossing back towards takeoff and following pretty much the same route as the lead gaggle, and the Aravis group are just about to hit the turn point 2, but in a completely different position. So it'll be interesting to see how they make their way to turn point 3. At this point I was quite hopeful the clouds were working really well over takeoff, that I'd be able to make up some time and maybe catch up with the lead gaggle, but it never materialised, which was unfortunate. crossing across to turnpoint 3 ridge. We decided to go on the left hand side of the ridge, or the southern side. The right hand north side didn't look like it was working at the time, but it looks like people did climb out in the end, which was really frustrating. Where we were was definitely in the lee, and it didn't end up working, and we had to cross the valley all the way just to find another climb. And I think doing this move, although it saved us and kept us in the air, probably cost us another 10 minutes. We managed to get high just here, which was good to be back in the game, but at this point the lead gaggle had hit the turnpoint and Talloires already, which was a bit frustrating. But we were finally greeted with amazing views hitting turnpoint 4 on Lake Annecy. Everything looked absolutely amazing, and I knew from this point that I'd make it back into goal. There was lifty lines and we were with the wind on the way back. We just had to get to La Danse, hit the turnpoint, and it should be a bit of a milk run, and it was a bit of a milk run on the way back from turnpoint 4. Not sure how long that leg was, but it was good to share the last leg with Martin and a couple of others who took a similar route. But anyway, from here, yeah, downwind, fairly easy all the way back to end of speed section and into goal. And this was task 2 of the British Championships.